I shut my eyes, trying not to speak, pretend that I'm dreaming. I smell your breath, not listening.
Hey guys, and welcome to Jay's Nest. Today we're going to talk about my personal experience with cloth diapering in the hospital. I have made a video, an informative video, about cloth diapering a newborn in the hospital. I'll link that video down below. I give you all of my top tips to successfully cloth diaper a newborn in the hospital. This time around was my second time cloth diapering a newborn in the hospital, and honestly, it's pretty easy peasy. I took to Instagram and I asked you guys what questions you guys had about my personal experience with cloth diapering in the hospital, and you guys came up with some awesome questions, and today I'm going to answer those. The first question is, how many diapers did you take? Now, I already made a video about this. I forget exactly what the title is, but I'll link it down below. The beginning of the video is what I would recommend if you're bringing cloth to the hospital, and then the second half of the video is about what I brought to the hospital. And I did bring 30 diaper changes. Sounds like a crazy amount of diapers, but I was basing that off of about 10 diapers per day. The average newborn goes through about 10 to 12 changes a day. When they're first born, they don't really go through that many changes, maybe 6 or 7 a day, because they're just born. They don't really have any milk in their system, especially if you breastfeed. So your baby's not outputting a lot in those first few days you're at the hospital, those first few days of their life. So your baby is probably not going to go through 10 changes. I'm an overpacker, so I packed enough for 10 diapers per day for a 3-day stay. I wasn't anticipating a 3-day stay, but I have had a C-section in the past, and just in case if I were to have a C-section this past labor, I wanted to make sure that I did have enough diapers. I only stayed a little over a day. I had her around 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday, and then we left at like 1:30 the following day on Monday, so just a little over a day. And during that time, she actually went through 8 diaper changes, and I have all of those diapers right next to me. I'll throw a clip on the screen for you guys. I bought these specifically for the hospital for those first few weeks when she still had her cord. She lost her cord at 6 days old, but these have the umbilical cord snapped down. This is a Happy Flute. And then these are the THX brand. I also have a little Joey. They're all designed like the little Joey, but these are just the knockoffs of the little Joey. Not as absorbent as the little Joey. They're almost worthless. She was starting to outwet them at day 3, so pretty much they were worthless in our stash. Then I have the little Joey. I have 2 of the Thirsty's Natural Newborn All-in-Ones. This one was her gender reveal diaper for you guys. If you guys follow along with my channel, I know quite a few of you were really excited about that. If she was a girl, this was going to be her first diaper, and that was her first diaper. And then I have this Nikki's extra small bamboo PreFold. It's the smallest PreFold in my stash. It fit perfectly at 6 pounds for her. I paired it with a Thirsty's newborn cover, and then when I took her home, I love watermelons. I'm pretty much obsessed with watermelons. Took her home in this Imagine newborn bamboo all-in-one. The next question is, did you have to remove meconium from the diapers in the hospital before putting them in the wash later? I actually just made a meconium cloth diaper video. I will link that down below as well. I go over pretty much all the questions you guys had about meconium and cloth diapers. And with meconium, you don't have to do anything. I think if you're paranoid, you can do things like spray it out if you want to, or use liners, disposable or fleece, or put coconut oil on at every diaper change to keep the meconium from sticking everywhere. But really, you don't have to do anything. That's the best part about meconium. People make it seem scary. People tell you your diapers will get ruined. People will tell you that your washer will get ruined. People tell you all these crazy things, but no, none of that is true. Meconium is really easy to wash out of your diapers. The next question is there a benefit of a snappy and PreFold versus a PadFold? So let me grab this real quick. I'll show you what this looks like. So this question has to do with this. So is there a benefit to using your diaper like this as opposed to just taking it and folding it into a rectangle? And yes, there is a benefit to snapping it around your baby. During the meconium stage, not so much. Willow did have a little bit of explosive poop, but that was because she did inhale some or take in some fluid on the way out when she was being born. So she's the only baby that I've had that's had like explosive meconium poop, just like really watery. But for the most part, meconium is pretty tar-like. Here's what a PadFold is. You just stick it inside the cover and you go. This is what I do with my PreFolds nowadays. She's 11 pounds now, and I'm using all of my PreFolds like this because I'm lazy and it works. But when you do use a PadFold like this, poop does get on the cover. Especially in the newborn stage, their poop is a little more explosive than most of the other stages, generally speaking. Poop gets on the cover, so you're gonna need more covers. I usually recommend 6 to 8 covers for the newborn stage as a minimum amount. But if you plan to just PadFold, I would definitely get a lot more, because at every diaper change that your baby poops, it's almost guaranteed to get poop on the cover. Finding a PreFold that's small enough to do the PadFold is important, because a PadFold on a newborn looks really, really bulky, especially for a really tiny baby. I would say that's really the only benefits of snapping it around baby versus a PadFold, is that it's going to be trimmer, it's not going to be as bulky, it's going to contain any explosive meconium, which may or may not happen. And if you PadFold, you're going to need to find something that is small enough to fit in these tiny little covers without it looking too crazy huge. Did you use cloth wipes in the hospital? I personally did not. I was just really tired and I didn't feel like getting up at every diaper change to wet the wipe and then change the diaper. But I didn't care for any extra steps, and they provided free wipes, so I just used the wipes they had. The con to that is when your baby has a dirty diaper and you wipe their butt and you put the disposable wipe in here and you close it up, especially with meconium poop, when you get home and you have to wash it, you take it out and then there's that poopy wipe and it's really sticky and it's stuck to everything. It's gross. So that is a con and it's kind of gross. But I was just really tired and feeling lazy, so I just used the disposable wipes that they provided. I had intentions of using cloth wipes, but I wasn't feeling it. I was just too tired. The next question is, did you get support by the hospital staff? And yes, I did. They were very, very, very supportive of my decision to cloth. They've only said that they haven't really dealt with cloth diapers before, but I brought the easy diapers. I brought the all-in-ones. They have the umbilical cord snap down, so we didn't really have to worry about it touching the cord. And these were easy for the nurses to just snap on and use. And actually, we did have the nurses change, I think, 2 diapers. Didn't have any issues with that at all. Where I store the diapers is actually in that little bassinet that they have there. There were drawers inside the bassinet, and in there the nurse actually told me to stick all of the diapers that would fit her, because not all the diapers I brought actually fit her because she was so small, but to stick all the diapers that fit her in that drawer, and so when someone went to change her diaper, they would see that there's cloth diapers in there, because that's also where they kept the disposable diapers as well. So anybody who was anywhere near the baby or had to change the baby, they knew exactly where the diapers were. And I also wrapped a wet bag around that bassinet. And I made sure that anytime the baby left the room, which I think was only twice, that they should not throw away the cloth diapers. These are reusable diapers and they need washed. All I need to do is stick it in that bag, which is similar to a trash bag, but instead of me throwing it away, I just take it home and dump it in the washer. Simple as that. And kind of comparing that similarity as far as like, you have the diaper, you change the diaper, you put it in a bag. For disposable diapers, it's trash bags, but for a cloth diaper, it's a wet bag. I think that was an easy correlation for them to remember that, hey, these cloth diapers, they go into this bag, similar to a trash bag, but it's a reusable bag, and she can wash it when she gets home. And I didn't have any issues with anybody throwing away diapers. I know sometimes people freak out like, oh my gosh, is the nurse going to throw away my diapers? Trust me, I had that fear too, and I had to remind them, like, hey, if you do change the baby, please remember to just stick it in the wet bag. It's hanging right off of the bassinet. And they found it really convenient that the wet bag actually snapped onto the bassinet, which made it easy for them to remember where it went instead of in the trash can or back in with the clean diapers. Did the staff have difficulty using the diapers? Absolutely not. Not at all. Not with all-in-ones. I probably think they would have difficulty trying to do a PreFold or a flat, which I just did a PreFold to kind of see how it worked in the hospital for us and to see which ones actually fit her. But I only used one PreFold in the hospital. And then we just used these for the rest of the time. We just used all-in-ones, and they found it to be really easy to just find a snap, snap it on, there you go. How did you make sure that the nurses put baby in cloth? I just reminded them. I just told them all. When I was in labor, I made sure all the nurses knew that I was using cloth diapers and that the baby's first diaper would be a cloth diaper instead of a disposable diaper. In this clip, one of the off-screen nurses is asking if these 2 diapers were for the baby. I tried explaining through my shaking that the striped diaper was for a boy and the other one was for a girl. That nurse actually put Willow's first diaper on her since I could not get up and move.
Is this for the baby? Like you want these instead of the other diapers?
We have one picked out. The striped one's boy.
Boy,
And then when I went upstairs, so I gave birth in the delivery room, and then after a few hours they take me upstairs and I do my recovery there until I leave. Once I went upstairs, I told all of those nurses as well that I was cloth diapering, and anytime I got a new nurse, I also told them I was cloth diapering, and they're really cool about it. For the most part, they don't really change your baby's diaper. A lot of times they just leave that up to you. Did the nurses question or judge you? No, not necessarily. I think the hospital that I went to, the whole staff was amazing. I didn't really feel like I was judged. I think there was one nurse who was helping push my bed upstairs through the elevator and everything. She was like, I could never do cloth. I don't like doing laundry. I could never do cloth, but these diapers are cute. That's really the only negative thing I heard about cloth, and to me that wasn't even negative. That was just someone's personal opinion about what they think would be realistic for them as far as doing cloth or not doing cloth. Everybody seemed to really love the diapers and they thought they were really cute, and I got great feedback from them. Next question is, did you tell them ahead of time? Yes, I did. I wanted to make sure that they knew what we were doing and that we were using cloth diapers. Is it a big deal if they would have changed her into a disposable? No, not at all. But since I did have cloth diapers, I wanted to make sure that they knew we were using cloth. So I made sure everybody who was coming in contact with my baby or could possibly change my baby knew that we were using cloth diapers. And I showed them where the diapers were stored, just with the other disposable diapers, and where to put the dirty diapers, which was a wet bag hanging off the bassinet. And then the last question is, did they do anything you were not comfortable with? Did they always ask you first? They didn't do anything that I wasn't uncomfortable with at all. I think the staff that I was working with was just really sweet and kind, and this hospital always goes up and beyond to make sure that I'm comfortable and I'm feeling okay, and they're so friendly and happy, and it's a weird environment for a hospital compared to my first 3 experiences with labor and delivery, and how grumpy and mean and rude people can be and how they want things their way. But this hospital really listens to their patients, and they really cater the experience to their patient. I really felt like this experience was about me and my comfort level, and I didn't feel like it was a business and that I was just somebody running through and they were just trying to push me in, push me out, push me in, push me out. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with anybody doing anything that I didn't like. I think that is the bulk of it. It was a pretty easy experience, even though I was really, really tired. The staff was amazing. We kept the diapers stored in the bassinet. We kept a wet bag snapped onto the bassinet. And yeah, that was it. Just pretty simple. We used all-in-one diapers that I knew would fit a tiny baby in case I had one. And it would also fit under the cord, because for me, diapers that fit under the cord is important for me. I'm really paranoid about the cord, just because of past experiences I've had with my other children and cords ripping off prematurely. I didn't want to do that this time, so cord-friendly diapers and making sure I had a good support system, which was my husband. He would have told anybody to fuck off. He's a little more outspoken than I am. I can be quite a bit of an introvert, surprisingly, but yeah, everybody was great. Everybody was supportive. The staff was amazing, and overall I had a really good experience. Cloth diapering in the hospital definitely isn't for everybody. You know, with my 3rd, I had a C-section, and I wanted to cloth diaper with her in the hospital. She was at the NICU. She was in the hospital for a long time. It was very unexpected what happened to her at birth. She ended up inhaling meconium into both of her lungs and was very, very, very sick. She had to be on an oscillator to keep her alive, and I probably would not have cloth diapered in the hospital with her. I think it has to do with your energy levels. Like, is it appealing to me after a C-section to deal with cloth diapers? Probably not, because I'm probably not going to be the one changing them. My husband will, and it'll be up to him. So I think there's kind of that give and take when it comes to this whole situation, whether you want a cloth in the hospital or not. I don't think it's as complicated as we make it. Like, if you want to use 5 cloth diapers, use 5 cloth diapers while you're in the hospital. If you want to use 1 cloth diaper in the hospital, use 1. If you want to use all disposables, then use all disposables. If you want to use all cloth, then use all cloth. It's really not that complicated. Use whatever you feel is right. No one is here judging you. No one is here keeping notes like, oh, she used only 2 cloth diapers in the hospital? She didn't bring any cloth diapers to the hospital? Nobody's doing that, okay? No one's judging you. No one's breathing over your neck telling you to do this or to do that. You can do a mixture of all of it. It doesn't really matter. All of our experiences with cloth are totally different. No one here in this community is like holding you up to a standard of anything. It's your imaginary standards that's making you nervous to do this. And it can be nerve-wracking coming into this and diapering a new baby. It is hard diapering a tiny baby. It's hard getting the fit right and to find something that doesn't look huge on your baby. But at the end of the day, it's your energy level. It's what you feel like you want to do. Yeah, those are the questions you guys had. I hope I answered your questions. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.